Welcome to today's lesson. We are going to learn English through one of the biggest technology stories of the year. In January 2025, a Chinese artificial intelligence company called DeepSeek released a new AI model that shocked the entire tech world. This story sent shockwaves through global stock markets and sparked an intense debate about the future of artificial intelligence. Our first keyword today is shockwave. A shockwave is a powerful wave of pressure or impact that spreads outward from a sudden event. In everyday English, we use it figuratively to describe news or an event that causes a widespread dramatic reaction. Example from our story: DeepSeek's release sent shockwaves through global stock markets. Another example: the earthquake sent shockwaves through the entire region. So what exactly is DeepSeek? DeepSeek is an AI research company based in Hangzhou, China, founded in 2023. In January 2025, it released its latest large language model called DeepSeek R1. What made this model extraordinary was that it reportedly performed at a level comparable to top American AI models, but at a fraction of the development cost. Let's learn the phrase, a fraction of the cost. A fraction means a small part or portion of something. When we say something costs a fraction of the price, we mean it costs much less than the usual or expected amount. From our story, DeepSeek developed its AI at a fraction of the cost of American competitors. Another example: you can buy the same product online for a fraction of the price you'd pay in a store. American technology companies have spent billions of dollars developing their AI systems. For example, OpenAI, Google, and Meta have each invested enormous sums in building powerful AI. Reports suggested that DeepSeek achieved comparable results while spending dramatically less money on computing power and infrastructure. This claim challenged a widely held assumption in the tech industry that more money equals better AI. Today's grammar point is the word assumption. An assumption is something you believe is true without having direct proof. We often use it in phrases like challenge an assumption, question the assumption, or make an assumption. From our story, DeepSeek challenged the assumption that more money always leads to better AI. In daily life, don't make assumptions about people without knowing all the facts. The immediate market reaction was staggering. On January 27, 2025, shares of American chipmaker NVIDIA fell by approximately 17% in a single trading day. This was one of the largest single-day market value losses in stock market history, wiping out roughly $600 billion in market capitalization. Investors feared that if AI could be built cheaply, demand for expensive chips might collapse. Let's focus on the word staggering. Staggering means extremely surprising, shocking, or overwhelming, usually describing a very large number or event. We use it to emphasize that something is almost too big or surprising to believe. From our story, the market reaction was staggering. NVIDIA lost $600 billion in one day. Other examples: the cost of the new stadium was a staggering $2 billion. The athlete ran a staggering 100 miles in one day. Beyond the stock market, DeepSeek's release triggered a broader political and strategic conversation. American officials and technology leaders began asking serious questions about whether the United States was maintaining its leadership in artificial intelligence. Some politicians called for a review of export restrictions on advanced computer chips sold to China. Now let's look at the phrase export restrictions. Export restrictions are rules that a government sets to limit or prevent the sale of certain goods or technologies to other countries. The United States had already placed restrictions on selling advanced AI chips to China before the DeepSeek story broke. From our story, politicians called for a review of export restrictions on advanced chips sold to China. You might also hear, the government imposed strict export restrictions on military equipment. DeepSeek's model also attracted attention because it was released as open-source software. Open source means the underlying code is made publicly available for anyone to use, study, or modify. This is different from companies like OpenAI, which keep their most powerful models proprietary and closed. By releasing the model openly, DeepSeek allowed developers around the world to download and experiment with it immediately. Let's explore the word proprietary. Something proprietary is owned exclusively by a company or individual, and others are not allowed to copy or use it freely. The opposite of proprietary is open source or open access. From our story, OpenAI keeps its most powerful models proprietary. Other examples: the company's proprietary software cannot be copied without a license. The recipe is proprietary. They never share it with competitors. One of the most fascinating aspects of the DeepSeek story is what it reveals about AI efficiency. Experts who analyzed the model noted that DeepSeek used innovative techniques to train its AI using fewer computational resources than competitors. This suggested that raw computing power and money are not the only paths to building intelligent AI systems. Creativity and engineering ingenuity matter enormously. Today's vocabulary word is ingenuity. Ingenuity means the quality of being clever, creative, and inventive in finding solutions to problems. It comes from the Latin word ingenium, meaning natural ability or talent. From our story, DeepSeek showed that engineering ingenuity can overcome limited resources. More examples: the team showed great ingenuity in solving the water shortage problem. Her ingenuity helped the company save millions of dollars. The DeepSeek story also raised important questions about AI safety and regulation. Because DeepSeek is a Chinese company, some Western governments expressed concern about data privacy, national security, and the values built into the AI system. Italy became one of the first European countries to investigate whether DeepSeek's handling of user data complied with European privacy laws. Let's look at an important legal phrase: comply with. To comply with something means to obey or follow a rule, law, or requirement. It is very commonly used in business, law, and politics in English. From our story, Italy investigated whether DeepSeek complied with European privacy laws. Other examples: all companies must comply with local tax regulations. The building did not comply with safety standards, so it was closed. The story also sparked debate inside the technology industry itself. Many experts argued that DeepSeek's success actually proved that the global AI race is far more competitive than American tech companies had assumed. Some Silicon Valley leaders admitted that they had underestimated the pace of Chinese AI development, calling it a wake-up call for the entire industry. Our phrase today is wake-up call. A wake-up call is an event or experience that makes people suddenly realize they need to pay more attention or take action about something important. It originally referred to a phone call at a hotel to wake you up in the morning, but now we use it figuratively all the time. From our story, Silicon Valley leaders called DeepSeek a wake-up call. Other examples: the health scare was a real wake-up call. He started exercising immediately. The failing test results were a wake-up call for the whole school. Despite the market panic, many analysts urged investors and governments not to overreact. They pointed out that DeepSeek's cost claims have not been fully independently verified, and that building and deploying AI at global scale still requires massive infrastructure. Nevertheless, the story permanently changed how the world thinks about the geography of artificial intelligence development. Let's learn a useful academic phrase: independently verified. When something is independently verified, it means it has been checked and confirmed as true by people or organizations that are not connected to the original source. This phrase is extremely common in journalism, science, and law. From our story, DeepSeek's cost claims have not been independently verified. More examples. Scientists only accept results that have been independently verified by other researchers. The witness's account was independently verified by security footage. Let's bring everything together. In January 2025, China's DeepSeek released an AI model that rivaled American systems at a fraction of the cost, sending shockwaves through global markets and triggering a fierce debate about the future of artificial intelligence. This single news story gave us a window into enormous questions about technology, geopolitics, money, and human ingenuity. And it gave us a fantastic set of English vocabulary to talk about it all. Today's key English takeaway: when you read global news in English, pay attention to figurative phrases like shockwave, wake-up call, and a fraction of the cost. These expressions appear constantly in business, technology, and political news. Learning vocabulary through real news stories helps you understand not just words, but how the world actually works. Thank you for learning English with us today. Keep reading the news in English every day, and your skills will grow faster than any AI model.